All right, guys, it is Tuesday, which means I'm going to go teach, but that doesn't mean jaw jacking's not going to happen, friends, because we're all about good times here and letting the jaw jacking flow. So I'm going to bring on Eric Taylor, CEO and awesome guy from Barricade Cyber Solutions. Let's bring him on stream. Hey, Eric, what's up, dude?
What's going on?
It's great to see you. You been good?
Man, I've been busier than a one-legged jackrabbit on crack, man.
Okay, that is super busy. That is super busy. Well, thank you for giving 30 minutes of your time for the Simply Cyber community. It's great to see you, Eric. We got to catch up, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah, did you get the merch in yet or no?
Yeah, I did. It's right there, actually. I was gonna say I'm gonna be wearing a Barricade Cyber shirt tomorrow, so look for that. It's a little warm for the hoodie. But yeah, I'll be wearing that on stream tomorrow. So definitely do that. All right, everybody. What are we going to be talking about today, Eric, before we dig into the Q&A?
I don't know. I was going to talk about the Amex thing. I didn't see that it was already on the CISO series. We do have Ghost Locker 2.0 doing some of, its shenanigans, so I might dive into that. Yeah, I've been kind of doing what I can to catch up today. So
awesome. It sounds good, guys. Be well. Enjoy your time with Eric Taylor. I'll be listening in the car. I'm Jerry, your chat. Until next time, everybody, I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern. Be well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for sticking around. I greatly do appreciate everyone. Let's go ahead and cue up the intro for the jaw jacking. Here we go. All right. Let's do this. Let's fire this up. And let's play some. Let's get some music going. I'm seeing some questions coming in on the chat. So the Rich 464 mentioned, could you please look into the city of Hamilton breach, one of Canada's largest cities? Shocked that the daily cyber brief passed over today. Yeah, they are a little slow on some of the stuff. To be honest with you, though, this one actually slipped past my radar as well. So those who don't know, this is the story in question, and I will drop this in here. I don't know a whole lot about it. So thanks for bringing this one up. Let me just kind of skim over this. Explain the source of the cyber attack. I'm pretty sure it's RDP, or Ransomware Deployment Protocol. This is the one thing. All right, here we go. We're gonna get on a soapbox here. I was a little tired getting into this, but yeah, I'm gonna call complete and utter. We did not explain the source of the cyber attack demands, adding she is limited on what she can share on the ongoing situation, which is exactly correct. Legal is heavily involved. I'll tell you that much right now. I guarantee you, with any box amount of Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies, she knows exactly all the details. But because of legal requirements and by advice of legal counsel, they are not allowed to do that or disclose any further information. So this will be something to go in. I will actually look on my radar to see if anybody's starting to post this this particular situation out on the name and shame sites. So we'll kind of go with that. I do want to play something a little different, because sometimes this, while the music is good, let's dive into the music AI real quick. Let's try to chill out again. Maybe. How's the audio on that? How's the audio on that? Marcus, play some of the dark web audio. Yeah, you want me to play some more nerdcore, Marcus G? You know, Jerry never did yell at me saying that there was any problems with it. But when you get copyright infringements from all the stuff that he plays, you know, I guess it's a fight of who's got the bigger stick against the copyright infringements. So we might play a little bit of nerdcore here in a minute. Let's see, Marcus G. Hey Eric, could you show us again where we post questions on your website where we have discussion? What? Marcus G, I'm not familiar with the question. Could you show us again where to post questions to your website where we have discussions? Marcus, I'm going to need you to elaborate on that. I'm not sure what exactly you're asking for, sir. Mr. Green reads, Eric Taylor question, have you ever heard of MCSI online learning? Moses cybersecurity, it's free supposedly and ideal for noobs. I have not heard of it, but you know what? Let's dive into it together, right? Yeah, that's the one thing, and I will get into this Ghost Locker thing in just a moment, because I do have some salty takes on that a little bit. The question came over while I'm looking over this from J.E. and Michael. Eric question, so more legal is involved, the worse the situation. No, J.E. and Michael, you know, we have very small engagements that have invoked counsel, as well as very large cases, right? It just depends on the client, their risk appetite for public disclosure, how much do they want, you know, our work as digital forensics and incident response and communications filtered through the lens of counsel, is best way to describe it. So let's see here. Achieve superiority in cyberspace. Okay, so they're actually working for some departments of defense, or some of their students have gone on to departments of defense. That's pretty cool. Okay. I might be interested in, you know, seeing what they actually try. 100 hours for free. Okay. So they have some training. I would check it out. Getting pinged. Hey, sweet. All right, we've been having some issues. Okay, we probably got to flush the Cloudflare. Give me 1 second. me a second. Press my UV key. All right. Off in a secret location. While we're waiting, and you're just watching me goof off here, mess with you know, some other issues real quick. Yeah, Cloudflare, purge everything, purge it all. Now we'll slow down the site for a second. There it goes. So thank you so much, mods, for bringing that up, Miss Jenny Housley. So that should be solved. So yeah, that apparently that might have been what you were referring to, and that's what Jenny Housley was bringing to my attention. That one of the pages on our barricadecyber.com site. Oh, so if you may not know, you know, we talked about this a little bit, but a little shameless plug while we're waiting on some more questions. I do see some mods bringing in some questions. So youtube.barricadecyber.com goes to our YouTube channel. Have y'all been seeing the Tabletop Thursdays that we've been putting out? I'd love to get y'all's feedback, right? So if y'all have been watching it, you know, y'all been checking it out, things of that nature, thank you so much. I do greatly appreciate it. But I'd love to see what y'all's thoughts are on the Tabletop Thursdays. If you've been looking at them, it's like, oh, that's a good topic to talk about, things of that nature, then let me know. You know, if there's a way to, you know, pivot it, make it a better, you know. I'm always looking for suggestive criticism, right? You know, I do that in just about all things. Like, you know, those who know me, you know, I love, you know, smoking meat and, you know, cooking outside and things of that nature. And every time I serve food, you know, to family and friends and stuff like that, I'm always like, okay, it's good or whatever the case is, but how can I make it better? What would you have liked to see different? Because I'm always, nothing is ever perfect, right? So I'm always looking to make things better. So if you haven't checked it out, please consider that they're YouTube shorts. They're very, very short. Let me actually pull up a video or an image while we I do got to get with DJ BSec and create a little template or whatever for this. There's an image I want to get a hold of real quick before diving into Ghost Locker 2.0. Yep, here it is. Download it. Why can't you just... I hate the way the iCloud downloads stuff. Pictures. Copy. Thanks for bearing with me, ladies and gentlemen. I do greatly appreciate it. All right, so when we get into the questions here in a minute, you know, I was on Telegram. You know, for those who don't know, you know, I got multiple phones. You know, Graphene OS, because, you know, need to be secure in some of the garbage that we do. So I was messing around with, I seen Ghost Locker put out a version 2, and I'm down here trolling them, you know. So essentially the price of 1,400, so $1,500. You know, you can essentially be a threat actor tomorrow. You know, they take 12% of your of the payments that are, you know, taken care of. I even think that I did some of the original or I posted maybe the original video that they posted out there. I may have to do another one. Cancel. Maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. So if you want to see the original one with me just jaw jacking about Ghost Locker, but I did put, I did stream there. What was their original? Yeah, so their current price was at $1,000. So their price is going up a little bit. So if you know, for threatactoracademy.com, I own. Jerry said it so many times. I actually bought threatactoracademy.com, and I've got some ideas of what I want to do with that domain, like point it to Jerry's YouTube channel or something, just to troll with him. But if you got any unique, clever ideas that you want me to do with threatactoracademy.com, let me know. But anyway, so Ghost Locker 2.0, they are working on Ghost Locker 3.0, just like we've seen with Lockbit. They're always got multiple iterations of their application that they're going through. What I did not know that GhostSec and Stormus, or Stormus, however you want to pronounce it, have teamed up. So, a merger and acquisition and M&A, if you will, of multiple threat actors are coming together. But they've pretty much said that, hey, that they are going after, the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. So they have joined forces. Again, with potential merger and acquisition style, or maybe they're just like, Wonder Twins unite type of situation. So that may be why we're seeing some of the light ransomware cases, because they're getting refocused again in the, essentially the Middle East and things of that nature. So if you haven't seen this story, I think I might have already dropped it. Forgive me if I'm dropping multiple leads or multiple versions of the same story. But yeah, definitely check out Moses Institute. I'm definitely putting this one on my radar. I'm actually going to copy this off and put it in my local one. All right, so let me answer some more questions. And Jenny, marketing. Love Kimberly Can Fix It. She's actually created the playlist. So if this has not been shared already, Kimberly Can Fix It, is the marketing manager here at Barricade Cyber. So I just posted the playlist there if you're interested in that. Let's see. Scrolling back through the chat, let me know if y'all have questions. I know I got a couple here. I already answered that from J. I am Mick. You showed us so going back to Marcus G, you showed us last week, I think you said we could post a comment question about whatever we wanted, and we could have discussions. Maybe it's a form you have. If it's about Simply Cyber or anything that we talk about here, then I would say post that in Discord. The mods, I'm not heavily active on Discord, because as Joseph and some other people call me, is you're an old boomer, and it's just yet another messaging app that I really just don't have time for. But definitely post it over there in the Discord, tag me, or even tag casually Joseph, because he loves Discord, and he can let me know about it, and we can definitely bring it up as a discussion to have. But I don't have like a public forum like on the website or anything like that. Definitely don't, if you're needing services from us, you can definitely use the contact us page on the Barricade Cyber. But if it's just general chat, just, hey, what does Eric think about X, Y, and Z? Just use Discord, because otherwise it gets into our Salesforce platform, and you're going to get all kinds of goofy marketing, and we may just classify it as spam and just delete it out of the Salesforce case management system. So don't want to discount what you may be bringing to the table. So different place for different ideas, right? Adam VV, Eric Taylor, how do I start a barricade cyber solutions of my own? Open a business identity. Go to your local city, open one up, and start getting clients. Really, it's everybody's got this notion, Adam VV, that, and I say VV because it's a capital V lower V in his name. I'm not. We'll just call you Adam. But a lot of folks are always like, "Oh, start your own business. That it'll be fun." And business ownership is not for the weak. This is something that you're gonna want to have to do. Like, I want to be the driving force behind this thing. Working 16 to 20 hours a day for 5 years needs to be a very real concept in your mind. Right? You are literally pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into something. So when people say that business is your baby, D right. Yep. I am right. Well, hopefully I'm allowed to say that word here. So I would say, Adam, unless you have the passion to do business, don't. It will destroy your life if you're not into it. If it's not something if entrepreneurship is something that you do not want to do not do it. It's one of those things that I wouldn't wish a business ownership on my worst enemy type of thing. So, much like cybersecurity, make sure this is something that you want before opening up your own business. Melanie, I have my CTI interview tomorrow. Can you provide any advice? Do your homework on the company. Have they put out any publications or anything like that? Yeah, I would strongly go in there, look eager, look pumped. Like you're overexcited to be there. Know the company as much as you can. So it goes a long way when you're sitting with the interviewer and you can quote out other things that the team has already done. Like, I really enjoyed this analysis by John Smith and this analysis, and I'm 90% with this person, but I do see a little bit of difference here and there. Do it in a respectful manner, but I would clear your plate and read as much as you can on the organization. When you come in looking like you've been researching this organization for a long time and you want to be there, it will go a long freaking way. At least to me, like, you've been doing your homework. You know who we are. It's just a different level altogether of credibility when in the interview process to me, and I'm sure a lot of other business owners and interviewers would feel the exact same way. Cole says, I got a degree in business info systems, passed a 6 month cybersecurity boot camp, and I got my security plus. Next step I should be taking. Cole, I would be freaking interviewing. I would be going out, man. Right? I mean, you've got a lot of you've got the grounding steps for like GRC, infosec, SOC analyst. You've got the foundation steps. I would be talking to people today, lining up interviews today. All right. I mean, that's what I would be saying. It's my 2 cents. And since we're doing the music AI, I can actually drop that off. There we go. I'll bring up the other screen if we... Louisa B. Question. Hey, Eric. What is 1 or 2 lessons you've learned from past incidents and how integrated those lessons into current incident response plan? I will say, even as I'm teaching Joseph into, because those who don't know, he's stepping into the forensics role. He's coming from information security and analysis. He's getting into DFIR. So we'll be looking to, potentially replace his role as he's stepping into a new role and stepping up in the organization. But the one thing I've been trying to hone into him, and I think he's got it pretty well, is two things. Assumptions are the mother of everything. It will completely F you up. Never assume. Never assume. And when you have something suspicious that you are investigating, set a time limit on it. Like, you see something interesting in your Sigma rules that you ran, and it's popped off 1,000, 1,300, 2,000 results across your data set. And you're scrolling through it, you're filtering, you're doing all these things, and you found something a little interesting. Set a time limit. And this is one that I always, I struggle with as well, is, I will spend too much going down a rabbit hole of one item, and next thing I know, it's 3 or 4 hours later. All right, so set a time limit to at least break from that current thought. Write down your notes, and that's actually another thing I was mentioning a second. But write down, do that, go hunt something else for a little bit, and then circle back, right? Because you will get paralysis by analysis. You will get so focused on that one thing, you'll lose track of everything else. Also, get a timeline template built out. As you're finding forensics, putting them into your timeline, whether it's a web-based application, a Word document, a notepad, an Excel sheet, whatever it is that works for you, but create your timelines. When you're looking at a specific article or a specific artifact, and you're over here, so those who don't know, I got a big curved monitor here, and I got another monitor right over here. Most of the time, my timeline sits over here. I got my curved monitor here. That's when I'm actually in forensics mode. Takes up I got 3 different panes, using power tools and all that. But actually, I don't need to, because my DFIR workstation is actually Windows 11. So, but anyway, I digress. So, I'm always going back and forth, and if I'm hunting an artifact that does not line up with my timeline, like I'm looking at an artifact that's a year before the incident, it's not important. So always being sure to do that, right? So there's 3 things for you. Hopefully that's helpful. Christopher, question: any labs for monitoring and analyzing security events or incidents that you recommend? If you're just learning, I would say any labs. None of them are coming up off the top of my head. But I would search like Elk Stack Labs, right? So Elk Stack is a free analysis. So is, I think, Security Onion, I believe still. Definitely look into that. Yeah, you can even stay. I think Elk is even part of Kali, I believe. I'm actually digging this music a little bit. It's a little nerdcore-ish, a little upbeat. But yeah, I will look into that. Most of that stuff is that I've ever done for lab work has been part of SANS. So I'm a little sheltered in all that in that particular scenario, Christopher. Sorry I couldn't be helped, but hopefully that search term will bear with you. Well, let's take a look. Let's look together, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. There we go. Elk Stack sample data. Oh, there's at least 2 YouTube. Does Elk actually have its own? Also, it looks like Elk actually has potentially, yeah, it's got some sample log files, e-commerce orders. So yeah, that actually, Elk may actually be cool. It may actually have its own sample data as well. Here, I'll actually throw this in chat as well. So hopefully that will that'll bear some fruit for you. Hopefully that answers your question, but I would definitely look at that. Carrie says it could be a grizzly to bear with Eric. I don't know, maybe. I am pretty tough. I like to think I'm fair though. Carrie, I'm definitely not one to spoon feed answers to my team. I'll give them gentle nudges in the right direction. Like, hey, look here. Hey, look here. But I'm just not going to be like spoon feed them. I'm just not. I'm here to teach. You know, if you're here to learn, I'm going to teach you. And you don't learn it by being spoon fed, in my opinion. Eric Taylor, the Japanese have a word that encapsulates self-improvement. They call it Kaizen. Good for you for wanting to consistently improve. Well, thank you so much. How do we pronounce that word? Because like those who've been around for a while, I've always said hooked on phonics never worked for me, and now we're going to actually pronounce K-A-I-Z-E-N.
Kaizen.
Kaizen. All right. So Kaizen is the Japanese word for self-improvement. Thank you so much. I need the more you know. Oh, I've actually. There we go. The more I know. Kaizen. Love it. Okay. Marcus G, yes, Graphene OS for the win. Yeah, so So we've actually got Marcus G. I've got multiple pixels that do the Graphene OS. So, for these who don't know, you probably can't see it, but they're all on Mint Mobile because you don't have to prove who you are when you're on that platform. They never touch my network, so it's a fully autonomous for the most part. So a lot of times I'll use it for when I'm mobile with threat actor communications for Telegram, monitoring dark feeds, things of that nature. So it's a pretty cool blow platform. And it helps keep me in the Android-like type of ecosystem a little bit as well. So sorry, getting pinged on a client about any desk makes me want to throw up and go out a window. But at least clients are telling us about it. Okay. Jesse Johnson says, yes, I've been saying to market that. Let's go. That's in reference to Threat Actor Academy. DJ Bseg says, just make threatactoracademy.com a troll page with live updates of Telegram. Could. You know what I thought about also doing? Oh. So I thought about going through transcripts, and this would be... this may not go well. I may lose a friend on this one. I don't know. I probably shouldn't do this. Now I'm thinking about, yeah, I probably shouldn't do this, but have like two iframes on a website where it's scrolling Telegram, and it's just go through all the YouTube videos and look through the transcripts every time Dr. Gerald Ozier says Threat Actor Academy, and just have it switching videos to those time segments of when he's just saying Threat Actor Academy. I don't know. JMB Handcrafted says, any resume tips? You know what? JMB Handcrafted. Hold on. Hold my beer. This shouldn't actually show any notice because I'm not sharing my system sound. I actually got... an email. See, I don't want to spend too much time finding it, but see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, here we are. Let's see, can I do this? Now, Dr. Gerald Ozier does, I got a video for that. He does have some pretty good resume generation tips that you may want to consider. Let's see. Save as. I did like, a lot of times people will email you their resumes and they'll just throw up all over themselves. But I will say this particular one, so a lot of times folks have, you always have problems like, hey, I want to show potential passion. I want to show potential this or potential that, to stand out. And while I am not looking for somebody that is a SaaS programmer right now, I will say this actually resonated with me. And I'll remove those will make me be quiet for a second, but I'll let you review this for 1 second. You see what I mean? So sorry, it actually let me step away from the camera for a second, so I was able to serve two things with one thing. But you kind of see where, you know, he goes, this individual goes through and actually, you know, expresses what he's trying to get done, right? So, you know, that intro, you know, that would make me want to potentially open up his document and look at his resume. So that's what I would say for a resume tip. I would also say keep your education toward the top of a resume as well. JMB underscore handcrafted. When I'm looking at resumes, when we're accepting people, the first things I want to know is what education you have, what experience do you have. So me personally, again, I always got to say that because not everybody thinks like I do by any means. You know, I'm a little gifted in the head with ADHD, but for me, I'm hunting for experience. Now I want to see that quickly, right? What experiences does potential have? Whether it's formal, you know, college, which we've talked about before. I'm not a huge fan of the institution of higher education unless you're going for managerial, you're going for that CISO, things like that. You know, that's just my personal opinion. But you know, just I want to see the education. I want to see what experience, education and experience that are related to the job you're applying for. Like, I don't care if you've been working at Pizza Hut for 3 years. Little known fact, my first job was, or one of my first jobs actually, was Pizza Hut. Let's see. J. Ian Michael. Eric question. How are you doing? Another day that ends in Y, buddy. What trends are you seeing happening? I don't know. There's a lot of different trends right now, man. I mean, from, you know, the job market, from the unemployment market, from EVs, you know, and a lot of it will get very, very political. So I'll kind of stay away from it. But I just see from a 30,000 foot view, I see a lot of uncertainty and duress in all the things right now. So do your best to keep your head up. David P, what certification do you recommend for someone to get Net Plus or Sec Plus? If I have to say one or the other, I would say at least starting with Net Plus, because that's multifaceted. Security Plus will go on top of Net Plus, but you need to know how a network runs, whether you're going to IT or security. You know, knowing how things pivot, how you know, SMB really works, things of that nature. So Net Plus is a good foundational certificate. So if it's one or the other to start with, I say get Network Plus. And then, you know, as you know, you're building your 7-layer cake of certifications, you know, put Security Plus on top of your Net Plus. David P, follow-up question. Would you recommend for someone to study for the CISSP and sit for the test 4 to 6 months later? I don't know. What is the latest? Bear with me, I'm just Googling something. I mean, apparently you get 2 tries of the exam. They do have self-paced classroom, instructor-led. David P., I don't know. I don't feel like I'm qualified enough to answer that. I don't have a CISP. I don't know. I'm sure I know a ton of people who have it though, but it's not something that a lot of people I talk to quick glance, domain 1, security and risk management. I guess my question would be to you, do you really need a CISP or CISSP? I've always called it CISP. I'm probably saying it wrong. Here, let me share this with you. I'm not sure if you've actually looked at this or not, David P. Let me drop this in here. You know, you can download the ultimate guide. They've got, their course outline. Now, you probably have already looked at this too, right? But there may be some benefit at, to just kind of reviewing this. But, I mean, if you want to go work in the government, you definitely need it. I guess, is this something you need? Would be my first question. But, whether you should study, and then how much time you should take, I don't know. But I don't feel like I'm the most qualified individual to answer that one for you. Tai Wong Gong. Question: is pen testing age specific? I feel being over 40, I may have a place in the field. It takes a longer time for me to understand certain concepts and wonder, should I continue this path? Tai Wong Gong, yes, it may take you longer to understand some items. I mean, dude, but I'm 40 something. I'm mid 40s somewhere. All right. I'm not too far away from 50, right? Dude, I'm learning every day. So, if you feel the passion to do it and want to do it, I say do it, bud. If you don't, sorry, I'm getting caught up in mod chat. So, so apparently, those who didn't hear it, there you go. Well, I gotta jack that up. That may actually echo my system sound as well. But yeah, Tai Wong Gong, I would definitely say do that. You know what? I don't know if I can do that. Let's see. I don't know. Anyway, DJ BSEG, no golfing sound. I assume it's on. No, it's on this one. Just if I'm not sharing my other screen, my Stream Deck doesn't push audio for some reason. It looks like the Stream Decks don't bridge your headset audio anymore. Like, I've even looked at the big mammoth ones, and it's still just a USB-C to your computer. You can't bridge, you can't jack in your audio unless I got an Elgato or something. I don't know. And that's the other thing I want to do is like, I'm trying to figure out, how much do I want to invest in a streaming setup. I mean, yeah, I do some streaming, but I'm no Dr. Gerald Auger. I'm not streaming all the time. I do have work I gotta do, right? So SSD question. Do you have an app that you use for note taking? What's your note taking process? SSD, I'll use. I mean, I got several programs here. I've got EditPad Pro, Notepad, and Notepad Plus. If it's just a real quick note or whatever, I'll just type it in Notepad if I just need it for like a minute or two. But anything as part of forensics, I'm using Excel. I got a whole timeline built out, template built out that we use, or I'll use Teams, and put everything in the case channel. So it really depends on what the purpose of it is. And on today's episode of Eric is Old, Eric discovers electronic music. Thanks, Casually Joseph. Let's see. Space Tacos, what's one of your favorite cybersecurity related books? Man, most of my books are still packed up. I've been living here for a year now, and half of my life, or probably more than half of my life, is still packed up. Let's see. I'm so far behind on my reading. Well, essentially me are behind on my listening. Space Tacos, I guess the ones that I've been really digging into a lot lately are OSINT and Microsoft. Anything web-based forensics, like 365, Azure, things of that nature. I would say is what are my favorite books right now, my favorite articles. So in Restream off of Discord by Silent Hawk question, what pixel model do you recommend for setting up Graphene OS for the first time? Question, what pixel model? Oh, let's say just So this is literally my first time setting up Graphene OS. Well, not real. Last year was my first year of really going down the Graphene OS and the whole privacy thing and stuff like that. These are all 7 Pros, I think. Yeah, so 7 Pro, and even this one over here, 7 Pro. And Graphene's got a new web-based application that will help you go through everything. So Jenny Housley's disclosing my age in mod chat. Thank you so much, Jenny Housley. Am I really that old? I think I'm 1 or 2 years older than that. Hold on. Yeah, Jenny Housley, you're wrong. Well, actually, no. You're actually effing right. Because that will be what I'm looking at is what my next birthday will show me. Sorry. So Jenny Housley was correct. Question. Eric, is hat say you GSU BS plat. What? Yes, Jenny, 77. I'm skipping a couple questions. So Christopher, so put projects you have worked in on GitHub. Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, put all your. You know what? So Christopher, I'm not sure if that's a question about the resume, but the one thing I did come up with, and I think me and Casually Joseph was talking about, or I was talking to somebody recently about it. You know, there used to be the TLD.me accounts or domains that you could be able to buy. Is that still a thing? I forget. Maybe I dreamt that. But I could have swore people were putting like websites up with their complete job resume with a .me, right? So you could be ChristopherCahal.me or whatever the heck it is, whatever that TLD was, and then you can literally do everything. And I've even made the recommendation. You know, when you're up at the top, you're putting your name, your address, and you know all that stuff, and what position you're applying for, whatever. You know, be like, for my full resume, view this website. Right, very simple. Yeah, I wouldn't do like a link tree or something like that because, you know, if you know, you know. You know, there's some questionable links on some of those link shorteners. So yeah, I would say potentially that. But you could do your projects on GitHub. I do know GitHub also has a website platform, but yeah. Space Tacos, do you have to get a Net Plus cert, or can you just gather all that info and go into Sec Plus? Space Taco, yeah, you can go definitely into Sec Plus if you want to. From Carrie, Eric, should I go and get a job with something else until I can get more training? I know you said to volunteer. I'm trying to sell my house and get something smaller, still learning. Carrie, I mean, that's, you know, did you try? I mean, I guess, are you going to be sticking in the same area that you're in now, geographically? I know the whole housing thing is a complete effing crapshoot and mess, and it's an effing train wreck. All right, so you know, if you're still going, you know, if you're going to still be in the same geographical location, I would still, you know, say try to get some of those local computer shops and stuff like that. And I would say, you know, volunteer as a last resort. Try to at least see if you can get you know, at least a part-time job or something like that. You know, if you're desperate for, you know, just say getting out of the house type of thing, then maybe doing volunteering. I don't know what your financial situation is. Yeah, I mean, I know you're retired, I think, from the Navy. I think one of the branches of the military I know you're retired from. So maybe you don't need the money as much. I don't know. I don't want to do assumptions because, you know, assumptions is the mother of all F-ups. All right, let me try this question again from AJ. And we are getting to the top of the hour, so we will wrap it up here in a minute. So this one's I'm trying to understand what he's from. AJ and AZ. Eric, is hat say you to WSBS platform and their self-paced affordable degree track? You know, most of the industry puts more emphasis on labs and experience. AJ and AZ, I don't fully understand the question, and are you asking, should you not do WGU's Bachelor of Science platform on their self-paced degree track versus lab and experience? I don't know. And again, AJ and AZ, it really depends on your path of which you want to go, right? If you're wanting to go like Dr. Gerald Ozier and you want to be a CISO, you want to be, that managerial role, then I say 100% go through the path, right? Because you're not going to get that level with those larger organizations without going through, and getting your bachelor's and your associates and bachelor's and masters and PhD and blah 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 blah. Like you need that formal schooling to get there and to achieve that. Sucks, but it's what's required, right? So if you're wanting to be more like me, you just want to be hands behind keyboard, and in the trenches, maybe not, but I'm one to say very carefully to consider your options of certification versus formal education. So, but anyway, it is getting to be 10 o'clock. Thank you so much for sticking around. 164 of y'all beautiful, beautiful people. I greatly do appreciate it. We will do a little bit of sea shanty, and then we will bow out with the typical Dr. Gerald Ozier message. I hope everybody stays well. And remember, folks, if you don't ever try to break the rules, it gets life pretty boring. And stay curious, my friends. Take care.
I hope you enjoyed the Jaw Jacking. Be sure to check out the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing happening every single weekday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., where you can get the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, network with other professionals, and then stay for the Jaw Jacking just like you saw. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. See you in the next one.